Hey guys, it's me Chan Dragon. Today I will do a short kinda Hutao guide video because I think Hutao is pretty simple to explain, and this is kinda updated for 3.4 though, so there's a little bit Denro theme that I will add, but I think overall her fundamentals still the same. The strongest team still I think believe it's kinda in the faith the old one, but yeah, I will just kinda make it again like into fresh one, especially for the new player. So let's get started. So as usual, let's start with the talent, so we have better understanding about her though. But yeah, I just want to remind, if you kinda interested kinda this kind of things, weapon comparison, feel free to subscribe and like to me. Anything of it, it's really appreciated for me. So let's start with normal charge attack. This is basically nothing special because just like pure physical damage though. And then here where the main gimmick or the source damage of Hutao come from though. So this is elemental skill called Guide to Afterlife. Basically what this elemental skill did is very simple. It's just like buff, but the buff is insane. So what this buff did is just like it will sacrifice Hutao current HP by 30%. Yeah, it looks scary, but don't worry, Hutao will never die because of this skill, because it will only always like Hutao will always have minimum HP of 1. So later after you sacrifice your HP, it will increase Hutao attack based on her max HP though. So that means the more your Hutao max HP, the more attack buff you will receive though. And later it will convert everything Hutao attack into pyro damage. So normal charge attack will convert to pyro damage. And also it has another gimmick that if you perform charge attack, it will apply the blood blossom. The blood blossom is if like you see like the kind of flower in the middle of enemy that called blood blossom. The blood blossom effect is basically it will deal pyro damage every 4 seconds. It's kind of like DOT of pyro damage, which is very good though. So because of this, you kind of already wonder why we always kind of want to trigger a charge attack every time, because that's the most efficient way though. Yeah, you may go for normal attack for a couple sometimes, but if you want to be efficient, yes, charge attack is all the way. And then take notes, when you are in the elemental skill state, you will never get kinda overridden by another elemental infusion. That means Chongyun or Candy's elemental infusion will never work with Hutao when she did the skill. And also it will increase Hutao resistant interruption, which is very good because I'll hate them don't have that. And here also the scaling, so you can just see this is at level 8. And take note also, when you perform this skill, Hutao cannot live on field, because if you left the kinda in the battlefield, the skill will gone. So make sure when you activate this skill, you have to on field until the duration is finished. For Hutao elemental burst, it's basically elemental burst nuke type though, where it will kind of deal high amount of damage in short period of time, and usually it's AoE something like that. So that's why I call nuke type of elemental burst. And take note, this also have effect where it will regenerate Hutao max HP. See, so that's why Hutao can even become kind of get healed by using the burst. That's why this character is very good. And also if the Hutao HP is below 50%, the damage become higher though. You can see even in here, the skill damage of the regular is only 400% at the level 8, but if you low HP under 50%, it increased by over like 100%, which is very good, right? And the regeneration even stronger when your HP is kinda low. That's why it's very recommended to use this burst when you are in the low HP. That's why we kinda know in the rough like idea what we should play on Hutao is like do the skill, keep doing charge attack, and then when you are very low in HP, like below 50%, do the burst, something like that though. So that's like the very fundamental of the Hutao itself. And additional info, probably you already know that at C0 of Hutao, if you want to play your Hutao efficiently, don't forget to keep doing jump cancel when you perform charge attack, because if you just do normal charge attack, the animation sometimes is way too long. If you do the jump, it will cancel the animation and you can do the charge attack way faster though. But yeah, of course, if you already see one, you can just or ignore it. For the passive in here, after your elemental skill finish and you change like another character, because this is actually in Hutao, so it will never work with Hutao. Another like character that you change, it will increase crit rate by 12%. So let's say you change to Yelan or Shincho, they're kind of career will increase by 12%, but take note it's only like for 8%. After that, this is another passive. That means like if your Hutao HP is less than 50, it will increase more pyro damage bonus though. So that's why you kind of even like have the reason to keep playing at the low HP, because the lower HP of your Hutao itself, you will get more pyro damage bonus and your burst becomes stronger though. So in here also, when you Hutao cook, yeah, it will always become suspicious, so that's kind of unique. For the 5-star weapon, there's a couple of them that good, but only two of them that I will highlight because that I think that work very good for Hutao though. First one is the signature weapon of Hutao, Staff of Foma. Basically that's the best because that's the scale of critical damage, and the effect also will kinda increase Hutao HP. That everything will kind of support with Hutao kit itself, so that's the best one. And the second one, I think the best one is Primordial Jet Wings, because this is also good that you can utilize crit rate, because this crit rate sometimes pretty hard to get, and the effect still good, will increase attack by 32% though, and it will stack until 7, and then yeah, it's very good for you to get though. Other than that, yeah, there's a couple of them that you still can use, like let's say the Skyward Spine, Scarlet Sands, or even the Shenhe signature weapon, the Calamity Queller. Yeah, but that's not as good I think as Staff of Foma or Primordial Jade Wing. So for the 4-star weapon, there's a couple of them that I think the best, but I will start first with the one that I think the best one, which is not so free to play, that you can get from Battle Pass, but if you pay Battle Pass, then you can get this, which is Deathmatch. Deathmatch is basically very good because the subset will give you crit rate, very essential, and the effect is just like very straightforward. It will buff your attack though, which is very good for Hutao. Crit rate and attack, which is very nice. But other than that, you don't really have to worry. There's another option, which is Dragon's Banes. I think this is more accessible, and then the substats also very good. It will give you the elemental mastery, very essential with your Hutao, because if you know that we will play Hutao with vaporize, then yeah, elemental mastery will boost your vaporize damage. And furthermore, also the effect also very good. It will increase damage that any to the enemy that affected by Hydro and Pyro. Then we know that we will always play Hutao with vaporize, like not always but most of the time. So yeah, this is also another further kind of improvement of the damage, which is very good though. If you can even make R5, this is even more than 20%. That's why this is still a solid choice. But if you really don't have, and you have maybe Lithic Spear, yeah, maybe not as good as Deathmatch or kinda Dragon's Bane, but this is still workable, especially Hutao from the US, so this can work also. And then the subset also attack, so that's pretty much fine. Other than that, you can consider Blackcliff Bluff Ball if you have it, that the one you purchase from Star Glitter or whatever it calls. And then other than that, if you're really desperate, you can also try Kitine Crossbow. And if you really kind of desperate, Black Tassel still okay, because the subset can kind of scale from the HP, but yeah, the effects pretty much cannot be utilized though. So yeah, in short, I would also say if you have Deathmatch and Dragon's Bane, that the priority. But yeah, another kind of like Lithic, Kitine, and Blackcliff and Black Tassel still okay for me. So for the artifact sets, there's a couple of them that I think is very good, but of course the one that's very classic that I think still remain the best one, which is Crimson Witch of Flame. See, Crimson Witch of Flame I think still remain the best one even until right now, because the 2-piece is very straightforward. It will increase pyro damage by 15%, and 4-piece will just increase every single reaction with that related with pyro. That's why this is still the best one. If you already have this solid, you don't dare to change. You don't need to change. It's already the best one. But if you kind of still have a bad leg like me in the Crimson Witch of Flame, and then you want the more convenient one, you may go for Shimenawa Reminiscence, because this is still okay, I think. Yeah, below Crimson Witch, I would to say, but it's still okay, and I would to say still very solid, because 2-piece will give you attack by 18%. Yeah, still useful for Hutao, but the 4-piece, the one that I was looking for, it will basically will sacrifice 15 of your energy, but it will buff your normal charge and plunging attack though. So that's why this is very good for Hutao itself as an alternative if you don't get a good Crimson Witch of Flame though. But take note, when you equip this set, you may need a little bit more energy charge. Let's say in the Crimson Witch you don't care about energy charge, in here you maybe need around 110, 120, something like that. Other than that, if you really kinda don't have a solid piece for the 4-piece, you can just combine, like let's say 2-piece of Crimson Witch of Flame with 2-piece of Millelith, and 2-piece kinda maybe Shimenawa Gladiator or whatever with Millelith, or any combination of those though. Now for another question, if you ask me how about Gilded Dream though, is it good if you really like don't have any piece? Especially if maybe you want to pair with kinda Nahida with Hutao, something like so, with that more Dendro oriented. So how about the 4-piece of Gilded Dreams? I would say it's fine. Technically, I would say Gilded Dreams is very universal artifact, I would say. Although maybe not as best as Shimenawa 4-piece or Crimson Witch of flame, but this is I think still workable because the 2-piece still okay. Increase elemental mastery, even though you still want to use Evaporate, it's still okay. Elemental mastery is still useful for the Vaporize team, something like that. And the 4-piece basically is very general buff. You either can get the more attack buff, which is useful for Hutao, and elemental mastery, it's useful for Hutao. It's either for Dendro, even for the Fabric, it's still useful for Hutao. So that's why if you want to equip this, yeah, feel free, but take note, it's not as best I think like as a Crimson Witch or 4-piece of Shimenawa though. So for the artifact main stats, let's start first with the sense. So for the sense, just go all the way with the HP, because remember, she scales of max HP, not from the attack, so HP is all the way. So for the goblet, the prioritize is still pyro damage bonus, but if you wonder can you use HP, yes, if you desperate, but if you have a pyro damage bonus, just go that, because that will be much better though, or more beneficial. And then for the circlet, it depends what you need. If you need more crit rate, then go for crit rate. If you need more crit damage, then crit damage. If some of you wonder how about the HP, yeah, it's still useful, but in my testing, critical rate and critical damage also contribute like a lot part of your damage. So that's why just don't keep like ignore critical rate and critical damage. So you have to go for it though, for the more optimum though. But of course, if you're desperate, you can go for the HP. And why I still want to go for critical rate and critical damage, it's easier for you to get substat of HP percentage, rather than you can go with the HP and still hard to get like double crit rate, something like that though. And your enhanced, not even maybe go with the kind of crit rate roll or crit damage roll, and that's still kind of bad. But to get like roll of the HP, it's much more easier. That's why I still prefer for you to go critical rate or critical damage. So for the substats, there's a couple of them that you should prioritize. Of course, critical rate, critical damage is the one that you should prioritize, but after that HP percentage, or after that HP flat, after that also elemental mastery. Energy charge is not so essential for Hutao. So for the constellation, I would say Hutao constellation from C1 to C6 is not as good as other like character, like in terms of value, let's say Yelan or Nahida or maybe Raiden Shogun. But yeah, in fact that I would say the best constellation of Hutao is the very early one, which is C1. The C1 basically will make like Hutao charge attack while in the elemental, while you're using elemental skill, will be kind of infinite, so you can keep doing charge attack without consuming stamina. And then yeah, this is kind of quality of life that will improve your damage output, your damage in terms of like gameplay, because you don't really have to do jump cancel. You don't even have to worry about your kind of have a bad skill or whatever, because it will fix by this though. So yeah, if you kind of consider like Hutao main, very into Hutao, this is one of the very recommended constellation to go with though. And then for the C2, this is basically good, quite okay. It's just like improve your blood to some damage, and yeah. But if you compare to kind of C2 Raiden or kind of C2 Nahida, is not as good as this though for me. And then C3 just level, C4 just like increase your critical rate by for other party, not even for Hutao. For that's why I don't know, if you feel like you kind of need this, then you use. But for me, it's not very worth for you to go C4 to just buff your party critical rate. And then C5 is just another level. C6 basically only very defensive system for your Hutao to not die. So let's say your Hutao just like get a lot kind of one-shotted while like below 25, it's still kind of standing with 1 HP left, increase resistance, elemental, physical by 200%, and crit rate increase by 100%. Everything just like defensive system though, so nothing will do in damage. So yeah, I don't know, this is very useful for me, but yeah, if you find useful you can go, but I don't think this is useful at all. So among all from C1 until C6, I think the one that only very worth to go is C1 and stop there. For a constellation of weapon, actually I already did in my Wushu Pool edition, but long story short, I would say if you want quality of life, then go for the C1. If you want just damage, go for Staff of. So for the team comp for the Hutao, basically nothing that much, even though Dendro come, because Hutao the best one, still not with the Dendro for me personally. Yeah, some of the people maybe kind of want to pair, but I don't kind of like to put much with a Dendro, because I think Hutao not perform the best one. But of course I have one only team that I put with Dendro. So also first with the one that I really like, which is double Hydro team with Hutao, which is Hutao Zhongli. You can always change with Toma if you like it, but another option like kind of Diona and Layla also can works. And other than that, Yelan and Shinjo you cannot really replace, because you need both of them. So but another team that I cannot really do, but maybe if you want to change like kind of you have Albedo, then you can go with the Zhongli, Albedo, and Xingqiu though. So it's kind of double Geo thingy though, because Albedo is still going very well with Hutao though. So yeah, it's either you go for this Hydro or you get with the Geo and change this one with Albedo. And then other that, this is the Dendro team that I like to use. This is maybe not the best one, but it's workable though. It's still able to do 36 star. It's just because like I use all the strong characters. Xingqiu is strong character, Nahida is strong character, and Hutao is strong character. That's what they pass. But actually in terms of synergy, not so great because the reaction is very random. Sometimes it's vaporize, sometimes it's burning, sometimes it's bloom. So yeah, but pretty much it's still fun and it's still very strong just because individually they are very strong. But yeah, if you want to kind of have another refreshing style of gameplay, this team still works though. And of course, take note, this one can always change with Thoma, and you can always change with Lila and Iona, something like that. And Xingqiu you can change with Yelan as usual. Nahida you can change with Daring Traveler, but I still prefer Nahida much more though. And then here is the one that more to the have like swirl, if you want to say. So Hutao, Xingqiu can always change with Yelan, but we have the swirl from Kazuha in here. Sucrose can replace, but I always like Kazuha better. And Thoma you can always change with Zhongli or the other shielder though, but I still prefer Thoma or Zhongli. And then the last one is that Vape and Overload. So this is pretty much will contribute with Electro, double Electro technically. So Hutao, Yelan can always change with Xingqiu, so don't forget. And then Fischl can always change with Yae if you like it, but I think Fischl is more free to play friendly, and Beidou of course though. So this team also work for the more to the Overload if you kinda tired with the just pure Vaporize. So thank you so much for watching. If you like, feel free to hit subscribe button and like, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.